Good afternoon and welcome to a special presentation of WSTC News brought to you by the Belmont-Harrison Career Centers in St. Clairsville High School. My name is Brandon Przanowski and I'm joined today by St. Clairsville Mayor Kathryn Thalman.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Brandon. I appreciate it.
We're very glad to have you.
Thank you.
First and foremost, what made you first decide to run for mayor?
Wow, I must have hit a streak of crazy. No, actually what happened, our former administration was contemplating the idea of selling our water supply to a private company. And they thought if they had private ownership, it would make it better for our city. But I started to do research. So I started to do clinical research and find out information. And the more I dug into it, it's like, this is a bad idea. I really don't think we should be selling our water supply. So I took this to council and to the mayor and I said, here's reasons this is not really a good idea. And he said, well, as far as I'm concerned, the case is closed, we're doing it. And I said, wait a minute. And I took two $20 bills to the election board and said, put my name on the ballot. I've spent money dumber at Gabriel's. And in this 4 years, I have to say, I have grown so much. When you're 64 years old, you kind of think there's nothing left for me to learn. Boy, was I wrong. And I have learned so much. I've been so blessed by God to meet so many wonderful people. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is an amazing town. We do like things for kids and for older people. And I have people reach out to me and say, what do you need? This is an amazing town. And as you get older and go on to other places in school, you'll look back and say, I really am from a great town.
Now, you were elected first in 2019 and became the first female mayor of St. Clairsville,
Yes.
as we were made aware.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about your campaign experiences and your eventual win?
Well, quite honestly, like I said, I'd had no experience in politics, but I'll tell you, I was driven by something very important, and that was in my heart. I thought, this is the right thing to do. When you find something that you are willing to fight for and you really believe in, it drives you. And you will all find that passion at some point in your life about something that's like, I am ready to fall on the sword for this. And that's where I was. And I was also very blessed to have a lot of friends. And I've got a niece whose name is Anne Marie McConaughey. And she was at Wheeling Jesuit at the time. And I said, Anne, I'm going to need some help with this. She said, bring it on. And Anne Marie is amazing. And she rallied about 15 of her friends. They canvassed the town. We bought t-shirts, we had signs. She has a little red convertible Volkswagen. We went all around. They hit every house. And her one friend, and this is the power of what you guys do, her one friend is very talented with putting like videos together. And we had a lot of photographs we took. She took them, put together a slideshow, put the song We Are Family, and you guys are probably too young to remember that, but it was, I want to say Pointer Sisters, that's not right. But it's a very up song, We Are Family. And she had that put on Facebook, and it played and played. And I think it really touched someplace in our citizens because, again, the election came back and I won. And I was shocked. I got called election night. I was home in my pajamas, and somebody called and said, you better get to the election board, you won. I'm like, what? And so I went down there and they're like, congratulations, what does it feel like to win? Oh, it's wonderful. And my sister came down, I said, I'm the mayor, what am I gonna do? And she said, parades, a lot of parades. But that was a joke. But the point is, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know where the bathroom was the first day I went in City Hall. But I was blessed. I had people who were still working for the last administration who stayed, and they helped me get my feet on the ground and moving. And again, I've learned so much. I've been lucky. I've hired a wonderful service director who runs the city, and he is an architect. His name is Jeremy Greenwood, and he has the foresight and the presence of mind to look at our town for down the road. And so the projects that he's putting in for and the grants we've been getting are to focus St. Clairsville in the future too. So again, I've been really lucky. We've got a dream team. They've gotten a lot of grants and we are moving forward. And I'll tell you what, a lot of the credit goes to you guys. I did not really know the kids at St. Clairsville. I probably shouldn't say this, but I went to Wheeling Central, so I'm not a graduate of St. Clairsville. But you guys have been so tremendous, so wonderful to me. I've gotten to know a lot of the students, and they've volunteered. Cheerleaders come up, they go to concerts and like volunteer to sell things or whatever. And you guys are always willing to help. And I'll tell you, if our future is in the hands of kids like you, our country has a bright future. And you remember I said that. I want you to come back to me in 10 years and tell me what you're doing, okay?
All right.
Good.
Now, we're currently doing a project on new local businesses that have been popping up. What do you think makes St. Clairsville a good location to open a new business?
Well, St. Clairsville is just, I know that the nickname used to be Paradise on the Hill. Why is it that? It's a very beautiful downtown for one thing. And I have to thank Mr. Tom Murphy and the Architecture Review Board and zoning boards, because they have a certain standard that businesses in town have to follow. And by having those, they keep our town looking very pretty and very attractive. And we also know that we need to move our infrastructure out further, out toward the Interstate Pass Respecs. And my service director, Jeremy, has started that project because we've got Trinity Hospital coming. That's a huge thing. And we've also got a business coming out beyond Trinity, but that couldn't have happened if we're not getting the water out there, the electric, the sewage, so that's all happening right now. What makes St. Clairsville such a great town is its potential, and we want to see growth. We want to see responsible growth, but growth will keep our town vibrant.
What would you say to someone looking to open a new business in St. Clairsville?
I would say thank you, welcome, come on in. But again, come up to the city building because we all are very business friendly. We want to see our town succeed, and we want to see your business succeed. I mean, you know, good businesses make good neighbors. They make a town attractive. You want to go do business. And we've had enormous generosity from our businesses regarding sponsorship for concerts, or again, we've done a lot of little parades, and we can reach out and say, you know, can you donate some candy or whatever? But talk to Tom Murphy in zoning. He would be happy to help you to make your business, you know, fit in all the architectural guidelines. And again, you can guarantee that St. Clairsville, because we have standards and guidelines, will always be a beautiful little town.
All right. And finally, what's the most exciting thing happening in St. Clairsville right now?
Me being interviewed by you.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, the most exciting thing happening in St. Clairsville right now is, again, I can't wait to see the beginning of the renovation of our junior fair building. Just all the little ducks are being put in a row. That'll be starting pretty soon. Other exciting things, I know Eric Gay, the director of our rec center, has turned that rec center around. It's busy all the time. There's basketball, volleyball, you know, stuff going on. And he's started to get back the names of the bands for our concerts. He's got a couple really exciting ones coming. I can't speak to it yet. That's his story to break. But I just see nothing but good stuff in the future.
All right. And one thing I want to go back to real quick is you mentioned when you were first elected, you had no idea. Was it your sister, who did you say?
Well, my niece Anne Marie, who was at Jesuit, grabbed her friends, like 15 of them. They came over and absolutely canvassed the town. They were wonderful. But it was my sister and brother-in-law were at the election board when I went over. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't expect to win. And I said, what am I going to do? And she said, parades, a lot of parades. So we were kidding, but no, she just meant, you know, be out there with the people, like that's what you did to win. So make sure you listen to the voice of our citizens, and I'm proud that we do.
Yeah, that must have been incredible. Like
it was like, I kind of looked up at the sky at God and I went, really, are you kidding me? But I said, well, you know, you're in this for the long haul too. You got to help me. And I do. I pray every night, God help me. I talk to my mom and dad and say, please help me with doing the right thing and the guidance. And my dad was a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. And that helped to forge my character a lot, because I grew up with, you will do the right things, you will have good character, integrity, and if there's something worth fighting for, by God, you fight for it. And so that's what I grew up with. And I in my heart, know that that's what we're doing. If you come in my office, and you're always welcome, I've got a big flag hanging on the wall. It says, "Don't give up the ship." And that I bought it at the Naval Academy. And that was a saying Oliver Hazard Perry in the Battle of Lake Erie. And I think it was in 1812 when the British were fighting them. And he kept saying, "Don't give up the ship." And he was strong enough, and those men believed him enough, they turned the battle around. So again, when you get that fire in your heart, don't let anybody tell you no. You can do it. And I'm also going to tell you guys, learn as much as you can about everything you can. You never know what will come in handy. When I was in high school, I had an amazing French teacher, and I took 4 years of French. Even in college, I took 4 more years because by then it was pretty easy. Okay, so fast forward 50 years. And we had the opportunity to meet the Japanese ambassador who is responsible for bringing Japanese businesses to Ohio. And I had a chance to speak with him very briefly, but I invited him to St. Clairsville. And I'd like you to see what we have to offer and our proximity to the valley and what we have here. I get a call about a month later, the ambassador would like to come visit St. Clairsville. Could you set up a dinner? Sure. So Belmont Hills Country Club, I called them. I'm not a member. And I said, I got people, really important people coming to visit, and can you help me? They were fabulous. They put together beautiful flowers because she read about the culture. So we go to dinner, and a couple of the commissioners joined us, and Mr. Sito brought his wife. Well, she spoke Japanese but did not speak English, and he spoke English way better than I speak any Japanese, but he happened to mention that his wife went to school in Switzerland, and I felt bad for her sitting there not participating. So I just threw a Hail Mary, and I said, "Parlez-vous français?" Oui. She and I sat and talked all evening. I wasn't great because, again, it's 50 years old, but boy, did that come in handy. And she and I forged a really wonderful relationship. He was so happy. His wife was able to talk, and we're still negotiating about possibly bringing a couple Japanese-based businesses here. So whoever thought that would come in handy, but again, learn what you can, when you can, as much as you can. So, sorry, I don't mean to preach, but that was really a seminal minute. I was like, wow.
Thank you so much for the
thank
interview.
you, Brandon. I enjoyed this so much.
I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. Please come up anytime. And again, thank you guys so much for what you're doing. You are fabulous representatives of your wonderful school. You've been nothing but helpful to me, and I appreciate it. So this is a big thank you to St. Clairsville. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.